Students, to the students of standard 8, welcome back to our class, and we have studied about the civics chapter 2, understanding secularism. Students, we have completed the chapter. Today we will discuss about the question answers. So we will begin with the short answer type questions, and then we will move to the long questions. So I have written the answers. First question is define secularism. So students, I have already told you in the class, secularism refers to the separation of religion from the state. So that is the first answer. The second is why have many democracies around the world have inculcated the secularism in their constitution. That means why many democracies around the world they have included the secularism in their constitution. So why? The answer is because it ensures peace among the various religious groups and also checks the peaceful functioning of the state affairs. So the answer why most democracies around the world they have included the secularism in their constitution. The answer is because it ensures peace. It makes peace among the different group of people living in a country, and also it also checks the peaceful functioning of the state affairs, and it also helps the government to function peacefully and without any problem. So that is the answer. The third question is, in India, can the state discriminate against a citizen on the ground of religion? So very much important question, a very good question. Will India or Indian government discriminate among the people on the basis of religion? You know, students, in India there is a different religious group living. There's a Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, and there are many other minorities. Students, can country discriminate against a citizen on the ground of religion? The answer is no, because discrimination is strictly prohibited by the Constitution of India. Indian Constitution strictly prohibits any kind of discrimination on the basis of religion, on the basis of gender, caste, and creed. So no, the state or the country cannot uh, discriminate on the basis of religion. Discriminate means Bedva. Now the fourth question, will the government interfere if some religious group says that its religion allows them to practice infanticide? Again, it's an important question. If any religious group says that infanticide, now you must understand what is infanticide. Infanticide means killing a baby just after its birth. So when a baby gets birth, and they are killed mostly when the babies are girl, so they are killed at the time of their birth. That is infanticide. So if any religious group says that infanticide is allowed by their religion, will the government interfere? Can the government interfere in this way, in this, and stop it? Yes, the answer is yes. There is a provision. There is a provision in the Constitution of India which allows the government to interfere in the matter which goes against the rights of the democracy, which are illegal. For example, sati is illegal, infanticide, foeticide, these are illegal, and government can interfere in these things to stop them. So if any religion says that infanticide is allowed by their religion, there is a provision by the Constitution. Constitution allows the government to interfere in this matter and stop it. So answer is yes, there is a provision in the Constitution of India which allows the government to intervene to ban or to stop those practices which go against the idea of fundamental rights to life and dignity, practices which are unjust and discriminatory. So yes, the government can stop if any religious group says that no, our religion allows them. But if it is against the constitutional law, the government can interfere in this matter, because the secularism, though we have a secularism in India, but students, one more thing you must understand, there is no strict secularism. Those government is separated from the religion, but not strictly. There are many ways. There is provision, as I told you in this case, that government is allowed by the constitution to interfere in the matter of religion when it goes against the right, the principle and the rights of the democracy. So I hope you understood these questions, short question answers, and these are written in the board. You can follow it. Now students, we will go to the long question answer. I cannot write all the long question on answer on the board, therefore I will show you some of the questions answers from the book. So let's follow it. Yes, students, the long question answer. The first long question is why it is important to separate religion from the state. So why it is important to separate religion from the state? And the answer is in page number 138 in your textbooks, which says that there are 1 to 5 reasons why it is important to separate religion from the state. So the answers are in page number 138, where it says that the reason for separating the religion from the state. I hope understand. So few points are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. The first one, it says that because the most important aspect of secularism is separation of religion from state power. And second reason is, within these religious groups there will be most likely to be one group that is in majority. So these are 1 to 5 points are there. You can write those answers in short. No need to write the full lines, but you can follow in short. The second question is the same, so we will not write the second question number. We will move to the question number 3. According to the constitution, what are the objectives of a secularism? So according to the constitution, objective of secularism, the answer is in page number 139. Remember, long question number 1, I have told you the answer is in page number 138, and there are 5 points. You can write those points in short, 1, 2 or 3 lines. And the second question we will not write it because the same. And we will move to the third question, and that is objectives of secular states. Answer is in 139, and there are 1, 2 and 3 objectives are there. Okay, so objectives of secularism. Here the answer is in this. Here you can see the first point, and then the second here, and the third. So these are the objectives of the secularism. You can write it from there. Objectives to ensure the following: that one religion community does not dominate another. Why? What are the importance? Why need of secularism? So that one religion community does not dominate the other. Second one is that some member do not dominate other members of the same religious community. And the third number, that the state does not enforce any particular religion nor take away the religious freedom of individuals. So that is the question number 3 answer. And moving to the question number 4. How does the Indian state function as a secular? How does the Indian state function as secular? Question number 4. And the answer is again in page number 139. How does India function as a secular? So answer is here. The points are first, the second and third. These are the answers. This also you can write in short. I will read to you and you can follow it. So these are the question number 4. The answer is first, it uses a strategy of distancing itself from religion. The Indian state is not ruled by a religious group, and nor does it support any one religion. The second way, it is the second way is through a strategy of non-interference. This means that in order to respect the sentiments of all religions. And the third way is through a strategy of intervention untouchability. So these are the answer of question number 4. So with this we will end our class today, and short question answer I have given all, and the same time I have given the long questions which are important, question number 1, question number 3 and 4. So we will also look about the question number 5. In what ways is Indian secularism different from that of other democratic countries? So very much important question. Let us discuss this also. Question number 5. In what way Indian secularism is different from the other countries? So yes, Indian secularism is different from other countries. For example, see, India have the secularism, and other many democratic country also have the secularism. But in what way Indian secularism is different? The answer is in page number 140, the last page, last paragraph, page number 140. The answer is here. I am reading it to you. Okay, how Indian secularism is different. So see students, there are many other countries which have the strict secularism. They follow the strict secularism. For example, US, they follow the strict secularism. That means the government is totally separated from the religion. Okay, government doesn't have anything to interfere in the matter of religion. Whereas in Indian case, I have told you, though government is separated from the religion, but not absolutely, not completely. As I told you, there are provisions in the constitution of India that allows government to interfere in some matter. For example, I told you that when any religion follows the illegal practices which are against the right of the democracy, principle of the democracy, for example, infanticide or sati, so those things government can stop. Government can interfere in such matters when any religious group is doing the illegal practices. So Indian democracy, Indian secularism is little bit different from the other secularism, because in Indian secularism it is not strictly, the government is not separated from the religion. Whereas in other example we have seen US, they strictly follow the secularism and separation of religion from the state. So I hope you understood these things. Students, follow the answers properly, note down in your notebooks and try to learn. That's all for today. Thank you.